Salute replay gang out here. Give us your thoughts on this situation. Coming to you from the road. And our team No Sleep out here in Knicks Nation. Let's talk about it. A lot of things to chop up. Quentin Grimes, huge storyline tonight. Got the start again. And boy, did he look like that player that a lot of Knicks fans, including myself, have envisioned in terms of what he gives this team on both sides of the floor. He was electric, attacking the closeout, excellent handles, making great passes, sticking his man on D like he normally does. Didn't shoot too great, but that's going to come. And we work our way up the ladder, and Bully Barrett bounced back as well. Very efficient night. We'll go through that. We'll give out the grades like we normally do. But Bully Barrett's back in town finally. Was in a slump, but burst out of it tonight. And hopefully he carries his form, back to New York. And we can see more consistent performances from RJ. But this is going to quiet the noise down. It's going to quiet things down just a little bit. Fam, with this situation. Yep, real 500 team, man. Back to 9-9. We've said it before this season. We'll say it again. It's going to be continuous. And like I keep saying, I sound like a broken record. This is a real 500 team, ladies and gentlemen. And we're going to give the man the game ball to Jalen Brunson. But he's one of the main reasons why I keep saying this team is going to be around 500. They're not going to fall too far below 500. There's a chance they might go above that. But they're not going to fall too far below 500 because we've got serious talent. And that serious talent includes a point guard. That point guard's name's Jalen Brunson. Right? Put some respect on it with that situation. The man's not overpaid. The man's making a case for an all-star berth, maybe in his first season. Johnny Davis, salute chat. Just an incredible performance from Jalen Brunson tonight. We're going to be giving out that grade to him. That's for sure, man. We're going to start with him. But just an overall pleasing performance. Shai Gilgeous tried his best to ruin the party. Josh Giddey, the usual suspects, tried to ruin the party. Lou Dort, Darius Baisley as well. But it was a team effort tonight. And it was just a really entertaining win because we got to see a lot from our youngsters, A lot of minutes from Sims as well. Deuce McBride getting gritty and dirty and grimy now with Derrick Rose out. So this is what we've been talking about, what we previewed before the season in terms of Big 15. Tom Thibodeau always talk about shortening the rotation. Well, when injuries happen, it's next man up. Baby, it's next man up. And I'm proud of these New York Knicks today because Deuce McBride, Jericho Sims, Grimes, everybody stood up. And this is a team win basically tonight, but led by Jalen Brunson, captain of the ship, leading the Chargers out there on the road, 3-2. Give us your grades for this entire road trip. Let's start with there, ladies and gentlemen. I'll give out my grade for this road trip. You got to give it a, I'll probably give it a B+. Yep. Just short of an A because the Golden State Warrior game and the Phoenix Suns game was pretty down, but 3-2 on this road trip, a B+ overall, which is incredible. Going in, I thought, where can the Knicks win more than one game? Maybe they'll steal the Utah game. Maybe they'll still beat the last game today, OKC. But no, we took care of business. It's not just how you start, it's how you finish as well. And the Knicks sealed the deal, headed back to MSG, the world's most famous, where Portland Trailblazers are going to be without Dame Time, Lillard, and the Memphis Grizzlies then are going to be out with most likely without Ja Morant. Well, so the Knicks could have caught another break, ladies and gentlemen, where the streets are definitely going to be buzzing back at MSG. You already know what it is. Luke says B-. Yep. Don't disagree too much with that, fam. Yep. B, anywhere in the B's is cool. Obviously, had we beat Golden State, or maybe we lost better than that, or the Phoenix one could have been in B+A with that situation. David, salute. Play McBride and Sims more. Absolutely. They've earned their stripes today. They've shown they've stayed ready. They came in, they produced. It ain't easy, being situational, coming off and producing straight away. But Deuce McBride doing what he's known for, playing gritty D, picking dudes up full court. he got into the game early. Was it in the first quarter, early second, and played solid D, got in the passing lanes, got heaps of steals. Deuce McBride definitely helped the team win, giving us all that he can give, right? Let's go, Knicks, salute. E. Gibson, salute. I thought it was an overall good effort tonight. And finishing the road trip 3-2 is nothing but a positive, right? Facts, right? Absolutely buzzing, on point with that situation. Yeah. Yeah, it did leave a sour taste, the Phoenix and the Golden State loss. For a number of reasons why we didn't, perform better in those games. We obviously missed some players, and tonight the talk is going to be a lot about Quentin Grimes, RJ Barrett finally showing up, and Randall, and then obviously Brunson. Brunson had a poor game against Phoenix, but like I said last show, man, I knew he was going to bounce back. A player like him doesn't have too many bad games in a row, right, fans? Yeah, I know you guys feel me with that situation. He got a lot of pride. Tone Wu, Garden of Knicks up in here, salute. Right, CT, much needed team win. Yep, game ball, salute. That's the difference, fam. When we bring in this point guard, and he lit OKC up, man. It was like and one mixtape, right? The mid range god, Jalen Brunson. He was hitting nothing but net. I swear to God, none of those floaters hit iron. It was just back of the net. And some of them was falling out of bounds. Some of them was a 7-footer falling on top of him. Some of them was fading away. Some of them was a hand in his eye socket, and he was still hitting net. So salute to Brunson. He wasn't going to let this team lose tonight. Right, Tariq up in here, salute. Let's go. Right, 3-2, let's go. Yeah, we got to get Mitch back in the rotation too. That's another big storyline from tonight. There's a lot to chop up. But Mitchell Robinson out with some knee soreness, and it looked like it was the same knee from reports. Sims stood up. Hopefully Mitch get well soon. Hopefully it's nothing too serious that's going to keep him out long, because I hope we don't keep saying this, but we're always talking about if this guy can get back, and we wait till we have the full squad and the full rotation, and we got Grimes back, we need Cam back. Now Fournier's relegated to the bench, so it's kind of like a lot of fans are getting what they hope for early in this season. It was like, could we just have everyone playing and ready to play and healthy, but limit Rose's minutes and limit Fournier's minutes? And it's happening for different reasons. Yep. And of course, one of my favorite storylines from tonight, Luke's hitting on that Grime Time, baby. It's only going to get better. Think about how, lack of warm-up he's had. 2 games, he's looked great. Both games, tonight even better. And like Luke said, he's just going to get better and better. Outstanding D, and I feel for the game. He's just a baller. A lot of people talking about Grimes could play point guard, and I'm seeing it. His handle's tight. And he can see the man before the defender can see the man. Those little drop-offs, the kickouts as well. 8 assists last game as well, career high. And RJ Barrett's had 8 assists only twice in his career in 4 years. And Quentin Grimes comes in his second game of the season and does it. So crazy talk with Quentin Grimes. He's got crazy talent, and he can shoot. The shot's not fallen yet, but that's going to come. But I just love the intangibles that Grime Time brings, right? Yeah, the defense, the stability, and I feel like our offense is more calmer with Grimes. We're less under pressure. Multiple ball handlers. You don't just have to have reliance on Brunson, RJ, and Randall to play make as well. So that's going to be nice. That competition between Cam and him, fam, is going to be beautiful to see, when Cam gets back. Yep. Yeah. A lot of people written off Star J Barrett, Broadway bully Barrett. I no doubt he's just going to stay with it and get out of this funk, right? He's been balling too long in his life for this to be his ceiling. You know what I mean? He's 22 years old, like you said. You just got to stay with it. You know, and it's legit what they say. The New York Knicks jersey is the heaviest jersey, you know, to play in New York City. I mean, we got on Patrick Ewing, you know, we got on him, we got on John Starks, you know, these dudes got to have thick skin to play in the Mecca. And RJ Barrett, hopefully, you know, none of this is bothering him. You just got to focus on what he's got to do, what he's got to improve on. Yeah. Yeah, I think some moves will come, fam, with Rose Fournier out of the rotation. The moment, you know, look how good, you know, Deuce and Sims and these kind of young guys look, you know, when we share the rock, two-way players as well. Sims, man, playing above the rim. He was throwing it down on OKC, blocking shots as well. Hartenstein got a couple of nice blocks. We'll shout him out too when they met him at the rim. Fearlessness, that's what I want to see from this team. Just 5-out defense, and nobody's scared to take a charge. Nobody's scared to get dunked on as well. Yeah, Grimes' overall package is consistent for me, fam. Yep. The Knicks have lacked that wing that can do a bit of everything as well, but we're kind of spoiled for choice now. Yep. Getting that swagger back, B. Willis. Yep. I feel you on that. Yep. Grimes Hive, man. And another thing that shines to me with Grimes, he doesn't look scared, you know. Open lanes, he takes it all the way. You know, dudes sag off him, he'll take it all the way to the rack. He's got that good handle as well. And that's an advantage of being 6'5", I guess. You know, a lot of people talk about Grimes' height, you know, to be that lengthy wing that people hope he could be. But on the other side of things, he's that playmaker, 6'5". He's got a tight handles. You know, that's valuable, having that tight handle. Grimes is quick off the burst as well. He's got a quick first step. Yeah. Yeah. Cam got the athleticism, definitely. Bit of everything. You know, those guys offer a bit of everything. I'm happy with those two as the wing rotation. How far have we come, fam, ladies and gentlemen? Streets is buzzing. Smash that like button. We went from Fournier, and now we got Grimes and Cam, and we got Deuce McBride waiting in the wings as well when Rose is going to be out. So yeah, we got some ballers up in here with this situation. Nick Yak says the more minutes Obi gets, the more his average is going down. Soft went under the boards. Yep. Yeah, I think the 3-point shooting was most likely to come back down a bit. The key thing is that he swishes the open ones a lot of the time. What I love to see Obi do is not to rely on the 3 too much, you know, attack the closeout. All you need to do is have the defense respect your shot, and when they close out, then it's time to attack. Obi can't settle into that jump shooting role too much. But yeah, so far so good with the shooting this season. E says, like Sims, Grimes, Deuce get minutes. IQ solid game tonight as well. Yep. Hoping Cam can get back in the rotation ASAP. Yep. Absolutely. Yep. We need that bit of dog. And like B. Willis says, Grimes has that bit of dog. He just seems like he's unafraid. He'll play hurt. He'll play tough. He'll get in people. And so does Deuce McBride. One thing I do want to mention too before we give out some grades and chop up the road ahead, but tonight the refs was on something as well. They was calling, you know, minor ticky-tack touch fouls on OKC for our tight D. But on the other side, they was able to mug RJ Barrett. They was able to mug Julius Randle, Jalen Brunson, and all of that. So they did get some home cooking tonight, and we still punked them as well. So salute to that. Yep. Tone says if Mitch can't stay healthy, maybe we should trade him too, because Sims looks more than ready to take on that role. Yep. I think, yeah, it's early in Mitch's contract. I don't see it happen in year one. I think Mitch is here for the moment, unless, you know, a big market opens up with that situation. But yeah, I hope Mitch ain't out for too long. We're early in the season still. Let's see how it plays out. Fams, yep. B. Willis says, I haven't seen enough of Grimes yet to give an opinion with that. And Tariq, RJ, the 3, Grimes at the 2. Yeah, I agree. That's got to be the rotation moving forward. No knock on Cam. He's done some great things. When both are healthy, I give the edge to Grimes for me. He just can get better and better. No slow starts. Grimes in his second game, in his game in Phoenix and tonight, sealed the deal for me for Quentin Grimes. He's just a perfect fit with the starting unit because he can pass so well as well. He can guard on ball. He can switch really well as well. But yeah, we're sport for choice with this situation right now. Allah Wise up in here. Salute. 129, 119. OKC gave their best fake comeback impression, but Jalen Brunson wasn't having none of that tonight. It was go ahead bucket after go to bucket, and the floater game, drawing fouls, the crossing people up. This is what I want to see our offense look like. When we badly need buckets and the other team's coming back. Like I keep saying, I'm still not a fan of Tom Thibodeau and his systems because I feel like we're not playing at times of the game. We're not playing through our strength on offense. And that strength is Jalen Brunson, ladies and gentlemen. We need to go through him. Yep, JB is a smooth operator. He showed it tonight. Yep. Salute Quiet Money. Salute. Let's get it. Tone Wu says, I like Grimes for the shooting as well, but I like Cam a little bit more, in my opinion. Yep. Both offer a couple of different things. Cam's length, athleticism, and finishing in traffic is a little bit better, I think, with Grimes. Grimes can definitely get blocked. Doesn't have that kind of length. Both, I guess, what both are doing is they're cutting well as well. The backdoor cut with tonight with the throwdown with Grimes, that was beautiful to see. He can get up there, rise up, slam it down. But basically, the point of attack on defense is what they both provide upgrades for. And that's what we need. 6'5", 6'8", bit of length and size, getting into dudes, making it difficult. And you saw Shai Gilgeous tonight, Lou Dort, Josh Giddey. Compare tonight to the MSG game, they had no space to breathe, really. I mean, most of the tough shots that SGA was making was like real tough shots. It was hand in the face. He had to work a lot harder for that, for his shots tonight. So that was great to see. We made it more difficult for them. Yeah, and we played harder, no doubt about it, right? We really wanted this one. We wanted this road trip to be a resounding success, and that's what it was, fam. Greeny, salute. Yep, resounding success for this season, right? Now, as we talk about it later in the road ahead, but we got this road trip out of the way now, right? So 6 out of the next 7 are at MSG, ladies and gentlemen. Streets is buzzing at MSG, 6 out of the next 7, so that's great. And then the one away game, guess where that's at? That's at Detroit. So it's like we're home cooking right now with this situation. This has got to be that stretch where we can really make some moves and get ahead of 500, make some things happen and cement this all-star case for Jalen Brunson, right? See, overall, what won us this game is what I want Thibs to do more of, and that's run the offense through who's hot. Jalen Brunson was smoking hot, and he kept going at them, and that's what I want to see. One of my favorite plays tonight was, when we was bringing it up in transition. You guys remember the defense was laxing. Jalen Brunson had a big man on him, dropped his head for a split second. JB just said, none of this, man, all the way to the cup. Just straight layup, just nothing but straight layups. He was living, sleeping, eating and breathing in the paint tonight was Jalen Brunson. They couldn't stop him. Man. One of the most efficient players in the league right now, close to the bucket and in the mid-range, man. He's becoming that mid-range god now, not even a mid-range assassin. He's a mid-range god. up in here with this situation, right? Like I said, hand in his face, big man falling on top of him. I mean, it was like he was on NBA Jam when you're on fire, basically, with that situation, man. OKC was just taking it. They was just taking it like, man, we can't do nothing about this. Yeah, Luke. JB's a straight up assassin, the most underrated signing this year. Yeah. So far, yeah, you could definitely take 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 wins off the Knicks if there's no Brunson. Yeah, with that situation as well. Now he's playing the role he's got to play. There's a little bit of talk about JB could get people involved a bit more, but for us to be successful, I think this is the way it's got to be because the offense got to run through him. And a dude of his IQ and his ability, he could spot gaps and breaks in the defense, and he could just take advantage of that straight away. Sometimes you don't got to pass the rock. If you see a pathway to a bucket, go get that bucket. You know what I mean? Everyone else stand around and just hold me down while I go on an 8 straight bucket spree with that situation. And it's more efficient, no disrespect to Julius, but at times Julius has to work too hard to get a bucket. He's got to dribble, crossover, post up, bump 4 times, and then hop step in the paint, kick it back out, get it back again, and then finally get fouled. It's a lot of work for Julius sometimes, but Jalen Brunson, can get straight into it with that situation, right? So we're going to give out our first grade to Jalen Brunson tonight. As the chat's absolutely buzzing. Salute, ladies and gentlemen. Luke gives his grade A+. Yep. Can't disagree, fam, whatsoever. Now let's give out the rest of the grades. Yep. JB gets that A+ from me. Crazy, he's setting records with this situation, and he's mounting a case for an all-star if he continues with this situation. That's what I want to focus on, ladies and gentlemen. But Jalen Brunson tonight, 34 minutes. So again, I've been pretty pleased with the way none of these starters have really played a 38, 39, 42-minute game yet this season. So the depth is helping out as we see the minutes on the bench. But Brunson tonight, 34 minutes, was 14 of 20. Unbelievable. 14 of 20. And he still missed 5 threes, 1 of 6 from three-point land. He was 5 of 6 from the line as well. Can't believe he missed 1 from the line, but he's been money so far. 9 assists. Crazy talk. 9 assists. 1 shy of a double-double tonight. Got a steal. Just 2 turnovers as well. So that shows how steady he is. 9 assists with just 2 turnovers. Only 1 personal foul in 34 minutes. Was a +5 and 34 big buckets tonight. 34 minutes and 34 points. Jalen Brunson, probably his best game as a New York Knick, and he's had some great games already. So salute to him, stand up, and I'm mounting that case for him to be considered as an all-star so far with this situation. And he's been very, very consistent for us so far. Just an amazing signing. Yep, there was talk that he was overpaid, all of that stuff. But he continues to prove the doubters wrong, fam. Even in the playoffs last season, people didn't think he had it in him. Yeah, people didn't think he had it in him with that situation. But A+++ for me. Yep, the chat's buzzing and giving out some other grades to everyone out there. Let's go. But just really proud of the way he put the team on his back tonight, did Jalen. Again, 9 assists, but he still scored when he needed to. And their defense was pretty porous tonight. They didn't have anybody that could really keep Brunson out of the paint as well. I love that little step back mid-range shot he has in his arsenal as well. He's definitely got the biggest bag out of all the New York Knicks players, this squad. He's our best offensive player. He can find a bucket any which way. Probably the weakest part of his game is the pull-up 3, but even then, he could hit the open shot. there, but I do like him more in the mid-range for JB. And so far his defense has hurt us a couple of games, but it hasn't been as bad as advertised as well. You put a solid defender next to Brunson, a couple of solid wings, and you're not even really going to notice anything because he tries. He gives you effort and all of that good stuff. Yeah, like a deuce next to him quickly as well. Yeah, I'm buzzing after this win. Lots to look forward to. I think this could really be a big turning point in this season now after this road trip. Let's get no letdown. Let's go to MSG, handle our business, right? So after giving Brunson his A+, we'll talk about Julius Randle tonight. 33 minutes, was efficient as well. 9 of 16, 2 of 6 from 3, 5 of 6 from the line, 11 boards, 1 offensive, 1 assist, 2 turnovers, 5 fouls, plus 8 as well. 25 points for Randle as well. There was a stretch in this game where Randle also took over. He had the small man mouse in the house, and Randle punished OKC with that. There was a couple of straight buckets. He was punishing them. He was in his bag, and you could just tell that he really wanted the Knicks to pull this one out as well. Like I said at the start, max effort from everybody. Tonight the revenge was on their mind tonight. But it was great to see Julius play 33 minutes, be efficient, rebound well, be in the positive, just 2 turnovers as well. So all that considered, Julius Randle, I'm going to give him an A- for tonight as well because he kept the turnovers down. He was in the positive, 25 points, double-double, efficient from the free throw line, 2 of 6 from 3-point, and efficient from 2. A- from Juju Randle tonight. He wanted it. Yeah, he wanted it with that situation. Luke gives Randle a B+. Really want to see that first triple-double. Yep. It's coming. I think it's coming, fam. Yep, with that situation. What do you guys think about any more grades for Randle tonight? Just 2 turnovers. That's something we could get used to. Less usage. Kind of makes sense, because Brunson did have the ball in his hands a little bit more this game, but I felt like Julius was definitely under control a lot more. He wasn't forcing it as much, and I like the way the offense ran through Brunson more tonight as well. That's key. Like I said, sometimes Randle forces a matchup too much, and then we go on that crazy bad streak of 6 to 7 bad possessions in a row. The other team makes a run, and all of that stuff. And I really feel like this team is at its best when Brunson's taken over and he's choosing whether he's passing or shooting and scoring. Yeah, and all of that stuff. He says Julius gets a lot of flack from fans, absolutely. But he had a solid game tonight, A- as well. Yeah. And he's averaging 3 turnovers, says Nick Yak, getting better. Yep. Definitely he's had a better season, and it's no surprise it's with a better point guard. With that, and he's had a couple of bad games, but most of Randle's bad games have been either being inefficient shooting or a lack of effort on the defensive side of things as well. But Randle's been better offensively in terms of decision making, picking his spots, passing the rock, moving it quicker with the double team, and he's also controlled his emotions a bit more. He's kept his head in the game a bit more offensively, not complaining to the refs as much as well. You could account that leadership, from Brunson's game as well. Yep. Luka got a lot of tricks in his bag, fam. Yep. Like Luke, you learned a lot, I think, from Luka. That killer crossover as well was nice. We could leave people in his wake, with that situation. So we're giving out 2 A's. So we were tough to beat tonight with our best on, firing on all cylinders as well. But let's hit up the man that's been maligned, Mr. Broadway Bully Barrett. He played 37 minutes and he was 10 of 16, ladies and gentlemen. Efficient night from RJ Barrett. He was 3 of 4, from 3-point line as well, and 2 of 2 from the line. He pulled in 2 offensive rebounds, 8 rebounds total. He got 2 assists, a steal, and 6 turnovers as well. So he was handling the rock a bit. The 6 turnovers was a bit surprising, but he was careless at times. But +3 still, and 25 points on an efficient night. Just great to see RJ Barrett bounce back, right, and shoot an efficient night. Quieten the noise down a bit, and also, the confidence in him can rise from here on out. 37 minutes, so Thibs ain't scared playing him, through these lumps. Play through good and bad, whether you're sick or you're not. He's letting RJ Barrett play through these struggles, and that's telling. The fact that he's leading the team in minutes again. I think it's been about the 3rd, 4th straight game in a row with this situation. It's been a crazy road trip for RJ Barrett, but to end this road trip with this game can mean a lot. And I really feel like he's going to come back to New York, MSG, and put all that noise behind, and carry on this form from tonight. New York Knicks starting wing, 8 rebounds, 25 points. Efficient night, 10 of 16. That's an all-star type number tonight on efficiency as well. So please let RJ Barrett continue to do this, and we good. We're going to be tough to beat as well. The most pleasing thing out of all of RJ's game tonight was probably the 3-point shooting, 3 of 4 as well. He was swishing as well. So RJ Barrett gets a B. No, actually, to hell with that. Let me give another A-, another A- from RJ Barrett. So AAA battery for Randall, Brunson, and Barrett tonight, ladies and gentlemen. Yep. What are your thoughts on RJ Barrett's bounce back performance? Right, he was due, but he stuck with it. I salute him. It's tough. All this talk that the players may not be, listening to social media and all of that. I don't believe that. They hear it. They listen. And, I felt like I saw a lot more emotion from RJ tonight. He shouted out a couple of key possessions as well. His head was in the game, which is really important and a great sign, for the Knicks moving forward. A really great sign that RJ Barrett's head was in tonight's game. He didn't force it too much. And, he was shooting well. And it means a lot for this team. Right? The big 3, AAA battery stood up. Now tonight, to add to that 3-headed monster, let's talk about the new starting wing, Quentin Grimes, got 33 minutes tonight, was 4 of 10 from the line, from the field, missed all 4 3-pointers, did not get to the line, but had 5 rebounds, an assist, 2 steals, only 1 turnover, 5 personal fouls, was playing gritty D, was in his shorts, and +9 on the plus-minus 8 points as well. A couple of jaw-dropping, eye-opening plays from Grimes. Attacking the closeout was key. The backdoor cuts, but the staple of Quentin Grimes' game for me is the on-ball defense. There was a couple of times that he stymied, SGA's penetration. That was key. That's something we haven't been used to. And I can't say what that means enough for this defense. If we could stop penetration, we don't have to collapse in the paint. We don't have to put our bigs under pressure as well. Most of our bad defensive performances was getting blown bys all game, and Quentin Grimes beefs up our point of attack defense enormously. And that showed tonight, right? We kept them within a reasonable total with that situation. And a lot of that was because of Quentin Grimes. Well, now Luke made also a really great point about he's just going to get better and better and better as well. Think about it, ladies and gents. It's just his second game in a row starting with this situation. It's been stop-start with Q Dot. And there was a quote, he gave before the game was that he said his foot's been okay. His foot's been good for 2.5 to 2 weeks now. So it's basically just been the Knicks' decision to keep him, keep him on ice, keep him healing up and getting ready for this bigger role, this situation, right? It's going to be tough. Even when Cam Reddish gets healthy, Tom Thibodeau is going to have himself a headache. Tonight. Now, Quentin Grimes doesn't usually shoot too inefficient from three, 0 of 4 tonight from 3-point land. But just imagine if Q Dot hit 2 of those 3 or 4 of those 3-pointers as well, right? And then he scores 15 plus points. That's a crazy starting unit for these New York Knicks, offensively and defensively, when Mitch gets healthy with that situation. So I'll give Quentin Grimes a solid B tonight, a solid B in 33 minutes. Stats don't jump out, but he played his role. The 5 fouls, I feel like a lot of those were ticky-tack. One of them was just garbage. There was a dude, SGA, that forced, the contact, leaned into Grimes. I feel like that was bogus. But the +9 was excellent. Out of all the starting players, Quentin Grimes was the highest. Quickly was the team high, +11, but Quentin Grimes was second for +9, 8 points, in 33 minutes as well. So it's not like his minutes were limited as well. So that's a dude that impacts winning when he's on the floor, both sides of the ball. He gets in passing lanes, he gets steals as well. 2 steals tonight for Quentin Grimes. So stand up, fam. He's a thief in the night. He can pull off those steals. He's crafty with his hands. He can make things happen. And I just love Quentin Grimes' IQ. IQ and feel for the game, because he can really see plays develop, right? He really knows what he's doing out there, fam, right? And it gives his team a huge boost. Yep, ladies and gentlemen, I can't wait to see more of Quentin Grimes. Yep, absolutely, he stood up. Yep. Luke gives RJ an A. Yep. His bearing is beyond approach. He's definitely a pro's pro. And Grimes uses angles really well. His biomechanics, wow. Yep. He's got a real low center of gravity, which is kind of like a Brunson, basically. Grimes did play a lot of point guard growing up, and I could really see that. I could tell, because he keeps his dribble low. He's tight with the handle, and he's quick. He's quick off the burst as well. His frame, he's stocky. Yep. He's stocky with that situation. I'm hungry too, fam. I'm hungry to see this more. Grimes, Brunson together. We all know this team's offense is getting better as the season goes along. We got dudes that can get buckets. For this team to take that next step, it's defensively. No doubt about it. The moment we took Fournier out of the rotation, putting Cam, he was impacting both sides and winning. Now we got Quentin Grimes back healthy as well. Let's look at what we look like with Cam and Grimes back together. That's going to be insane. The lineups we could have. Quickly's on-ball defense is solid. We'll give him his shout out. But with Brunson, Quickly, RJ, Grimes, and Cam, now there's so many different lineups this team can do. We talked about it with Bill Daughtry about hoping Thibs can get mad scientist on us, and play these small ball lineups, play to mismatches in this league, and we got dudes that can mismatch. We'll talk about Jericho, Sims as well. But with that situation, Quentin Grimes, gets that solid B tonight, man. He's just really impressed me the way he's come in, look as smooth as he's looked, with limited minutes, and then all of a sudden playing heavy minutes as well. So that's a huge key for this situation. That's when you've really got something. You're working with something right now with Quentin Grimes. There was all these jokes. He was kept out of the Spider deal, all of that. Was that an overreaction? And all of those things. But yeah, with that situation, I really feel like the front office knew what they were doing, right? They saw what Quentin Grimes could do, They saw him in practice, and they saw him in the gym, and that they just knew what he's all about. That situation, he's showing it so far. Just wait till that shot starts to fall, right? And it's going to be absolutely popping up in here, man. Right? We've got two-way lineups we can work with now, man, in the modern NBA. Stretch wings that can defend, can get up and down real quick. Another key strength to Quentin Grimes, he can run the break as well, man. We all know us holding our heads in shame when Alec Burks was running the break right now. Now we don't have to worry about that with Obi, Cam, Grimes, Brunson running the break. Well, we just need RJ's finishing at the hoop to get better as well, and we could be dangerous on the break now. We know the Knicks have stunk on fast break points over the past few seasons, but now we're getting better at that, at pushing it, and we're playing a lot more faster. Right, that sometimes it looks like Grimes got a motor on him, the way he gets up and down real quick as well. So that's really impressive. Now, the last starting man on this team tonight got injured. He just got back recently, but Mitchell Robinson, 13 minutes, had one field goal, a dunk, 1 of 2 from the line, 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, +5 3 points for tonight. So Mitch basically incomplete, in his 13 minutes, but he was on his way to having a very solid game again. Let's hope we get some great news that it's not too serious. It appears to be the same knee that was bothering Mitch with that situation. So yeah, let's just wait and see. But now let's look at the bench tonight, because the bench absolutely stood up. We had Obi +4, Hartenstein +3, McBride +3, and Quickly +11 as well. And we got a lot of bench contributions and bench points tonight. Topping with 18 minutes, Hartenstein 16, Sims 15, McBride 15, and Quickly 25 minutes as well. Evan Fournier, DNP coach's decision again. So a lot of quotes, a lot of talk going around about Evan. He's trying to, he's being a pro. I respect Evan for trying to be a pro, but it looks like his tenure with the New York Knicks is definitely beyond situational. Even in situations where D Rose is out, he's still not getting in. So that's kind of the Kemba Walker type situation. So look out for that moving ahead. I feel like they're definitely going to try to find a home for Evan Fournier. But let's start with Emmanuel Quickly, the best performer off the bench tonight. Another bounce back performance, which is great to see. 25 minutes, 6 of 8, 4 of 5 from 3-point line, 2 of 2 from the line, 3 rebounds, 4 assists, 3 fouls only, +11, 18 points on crazy efficiency. 6 of 8, 4 of 5, 18 points, +11. Solid defense, got a steal, running the point off the bench without the shadow of Derrick Rose out there as well. He was in command tonight, and there wasn't any hesitation with the shooting. I feel like Quickly has these good shooting nights when he doesn't hesitate. He doesn't over dribble, doesn't probe too much. He just plays on instinct. Like, as the chat knows, IQ's a natural born scorer. And what those guys do is they score. They don't need to overthink it too much, So IQ tonight, he was lighting it up as well. Yep. Yeah, we'll definitely talk about that more in the road ahead after we've given out all the grades. Fam, lots to talk about the road ahead now as we transition back to MSG, and the trade period's going to open up with some more free agents, being able to be traded, and also some teams being more desperate, as the losses pile up with that situation. But yet tonight was just a feel-good win on so many levels. And as we get back to IQ, because again, he'd been struggling a little bit with efficiency, and struggling coming to terms with his role this season, with the increased minutes. Normally playing a lot next to Derrick Rose, but Rose's minutes have decreased, and IQ's had much more usage. This season you could tell he was kind of overthinking it at times, not knowing when to pass, when to shoot, all of those things. We're only 18 games in. It's a long summer and a long off season, and IQ's got great feel for the game. It was only going to be a matter of time before he found his groove, and just play to his instincts, right? Pass it if there's an open man and shoot it. Take the man off the dribble when you can. Use the floater, use the step back, all of that. And tonight the shot was falling. It was wet. Well, 18 points off the bench in 25 minutes. That's 6 man of the year type stuff, plus 11 on a crazy efficiency. So tonight, Emmanuel quickly gets nothing but an A for that situation, right? Stand up. Crazy efficiency. Yeah, for just 25 minutes to put up 18 points. What can I say? IQ's been hearing his name in, trade talks and all this stuff going on. And that lets you know that teams recognize talent there. They could see a bigger role for Quickly. They could see what he's capable of doing. And they've been trying to get him for cheap off the Knicks, from what I've been hearing as well. The Knicks do value IQ. And rest assured, they're not going to trade him for pennies on the dollar. They're not going to trade him for potato chips. They know what IQ can do. And it's up for a team. If they want him, they're going to have to pony up with that situation. Maybe a first-round pick and maybe another role player on top of that. But I don't feel like the Knicks are overly shopping IQ. I think it's more of like teams are calling, thinking, man, maybe this guy's capable of being a starter, or maybe this guy's capable of playing more minutes. Let's try to get him. Let's try to get him on the low, and let him outplay his value. With that situation, right? Cap and salute. Really hoping Quickly doesn't get shipped off. He's a real gamer. Yep. Yeah, definitely, fam. It's not how you start, it's how you finish too. And I said this in pre-season. I said the Knicks will get hot to finish this season. We're going to go through some bumps, bruises, and some lumps through the season and early on. But I feel like a lot of these players are going to be hitting their groove. If we remember the last couple of seasons with IQ and Obi, finishing out the season in a blaze, and it's only been 18 games in. So the things I'm really looking out for now in this big stretch back home is I want to see IQ and RJ carry this kind of shooting and efficiency back at MSG. Yep. B. Willis says, I've been hard on Quickly and RJ, and they needed this road win. Big facts, right? Yep. Absolutely lit it up. Yep. Kaiser Soze, salute. The Lakers, absolutely crazy, desperate. It kind of doesn't even make sense for the Lakers to try and win anymore, fam. I really feel like they should go sell some parts off and get some picks back, because, man, I can't believe if they give up the second or first overall pick to New Orleans, the rest of the league's going to be absolutely crazy with LA. Yeah, with that. Yep. We got Deuce. We got all of that situation to chop up as well. Yep. Chat's absolutely buzzing right here in Knicks Nation. Thanksgiving coming up as well. We'll give out our thoughts about that and wish everybody happy Thanksgiving. But a 3-day layoff now, 3-day off situation for this team. They can get some turkey in. They could reflect on the first 18 games. I feel like it's a great note to end this stretch on. Having got this road trip out of the way now, like I said, we can get ready for some home cooking, literally, because I think 6 out of the next 7 is at MSG now. So we really set up our season, I really feel like, by handling our business on the road now, 3-2. To be 9-9 after 18 games, I would have signed up for that on the dotted line when the season began, especially after this road trip. Yeah, I'm with you on that. Look at RJ to get back more consistent. And it starts with the shot. Players feel so much more comfortable when that shot's fallen as well with that situation. One thing I could admire as well, even though it's been frustrating and not everybody might agree, but playing RJ heavy minutes through these struggles, it does show confidence in your player. One thing you could do that could be worse is to yank the player, let him play 17 minutes or let him play 13 minutes. Then it's going to be all in his head. But a volume dude like RJ, you just keep playing him 39 minutes, 35 minutes, and let him literally break through that struggle. Let him burst through that struggle with a performance like tonight. Right, so an A for Quickly. Now let's give some grades for Deuce McBride, because a storyline from tonight may become a bigger storyline with Derrick Rose, trade buzz, his ankles hanging by a thread right now, 34 years of age. It's time to bring in some youth. And Deuce McBride gave us good energy tonight. 15 minutes. Didn't shoot well, 1 of 6, 0 of 3. Hit 1 of 2 from the line. But 2 assists and 2 steals, I like to see, was a +3 and 3 points. So Deuce McBride ain't known for his offense right now. He's going to take a bit of time and minutes for that to come. But what Deuce McBride is going to give you the second he hits that hardwood is to get in someone's shorts and let them know that he's there, right? Play gritty, tough New York City ball with that situation. And 2 steals. You could pencil it in. 2 assists as well. I hope he continues to get some shine. He can get into a groove, right? He could literally average 2 to 3 steals. That guy with that situation, right? Let the other lead guard know there ain't no layup lines here right now. There ain't going to be a pathway to an easy bucket with Deuce McBride out there as well. 2 personal fouls in 15 minutes. Well, but it's all just about the energy. Box scores are box scores, and you don't really need a player to. Everybody's not going to score 15 points on the box score. There's only one ball. But for the Knicks to be effective, they need dudes that play with pride, and they don't let their man beat them. They don't let them backdoor cut. They don't let them blow by. Just simple things, keeping it simple. And Deuce McBride's that dude that you could pull off on the rec league YMCA. You could pick him for your team, and he's just going to give you hustle. He's going to come out there, pull the shorts up, and let the other person know that he's around with that situation. A little bit of youthfulness, toughness, and energy as well. Another ball handler as well. Long wingspan, and he's tougher than Derrick Rose as well. Offensively, you suffer a little bit over Derrick Rose, but in terms of defense, Deuce McBride is tougher than Derrick Rose, right? He picks dudes up. You could just tell he gets in that defensive stance. Yep. He makes things happen defensively, gets disruptive. Yep. With that situation, B. Willis says Deuce McBride makes players change their pace with his defense. Yep. That's all you need, too. Great point. Slow them down a little bit. Slow them down. No more scoring 145 points with that situation. And again, I want to give some credit to Thibs, because the narrative's changed a little bit heading before this road trip to where we at right this point in time. Ladies and gentlemen, a lot has changed over this road trip. Not only has we come out of it 3-2, but Tom Thibodeau has been playing and adjusting a couple of different lineups. He's been willing to play Grimes heavy minutes. He's been playing Jericho Sims. He's been playing Deuce McBride. Now he was playing Cam Reddish. Tonight he played Randall and Obi together as well. He subbed out Sims. and he left the smaller front court of Obi and Randall. So we're going to talk about that with that situation. But I'll give Deuce McBride a solid B- for his effort, his role in 15 minutes. Was impactful, being a +3 15 minutes with that situation. Now I want to talk about Jericho Sims. Well, 15 minutes, was 3 of 5, playing above the rim. 3 offensive rebounds, stand up. 7 rebounds total, 1 block, a turnover, 3 fouls, -1, 6 points. But Jericho Sims is just every bit solid in 16, 15 minutes. Just playing above the rim threat that he is when he's out there, and the screen setting, the one-on-one defense out on the perimeter. He is earning a serious spot in this rotation now. Hartenstein in and out with his consistency. Mitchell Robinson in and out with his injuries. Jericho Sims is every bit in this consideration for minutes now throughout this season. And you could tell Tom Thibodeau trusts him. He's earned that trust from fans, from Thibs, and with his good play. Young, got a bright future, got a lot of upside, Jericho Sims. One thing he's improved on as well is shooting free throws, really good. A lot of improvement with Jericho with the free throws now. The form looks good. He's rebounding well. He's just tough on the block to move. He draws fouls as well. He tries his hardest as well with effort to protect the rim. Even though he's 6'10", he ain't that tall. But man, Jericho is just a body that impacts the game when he's on the court, right? So salute to Jericho. Jericho Sims gets a solid B for me tonight as well. Really happy for these situational guys to come in and impact the game. I mean, it ain't easy, ladies and gentlemen, to go from not playing to playing 15 plus minutes, and making them meaningful, impactful minutes as well. That speaks volumes to these young players. They've got talent. The Knicks could be on to something. They just got to keep developing this talent. And yeah, I see a future for these guys with the Knicks, with McBride, with Sims as well. Now, Isaiah Hartenstein, the final man to give out a grade, the second final man before Obi, 16 minutes, was inefficient tonight, 1 of 4, missed 1 3-pointer. But Isaiah pulled in 5 offensive boards, 8 total, a steal, a block, was +3, 2 points. So Isaiah was impactful tonight as well. He was trying his hardest to rebound. I love his block when he met SGA at the hoop as well. He was trying to impact the game on the defensive side of things. He gives you heart, effort, all of that. In Mitch's absence, he's still that bench big man, fill-in kind of guy, up and down with consistency, but his effort is consistent. With that said, a lot of talk about, was it an unnecessary signing, $8 million? I mean, I still think it's a good signing with Hartenstein. He's someone that you can throw in if you need. You can plug and play him. You can rely on him when you need to. But it's also a positive that Sims is looking good as well, because, down the line, we may need to trade one of them for an asset. You know what I mean? One of them might be tradable, if one of these teams needs a big man. He says Sims' energy, ability to step out, huge on the perimeter defensively, set great screens, that should earn him minutes. Facts. I'm with you on that, fam, with that situation. A lot of fans talk about RJ still too. Salute D Grant. RJ's not worked on his game. He's doing the same thing he'd been done for 4 years. CA says still no right hand, still no D, still no dribble pull up, still no creativity getting at the rim. Facts. There's limitations in his game. What he does need to work on is consistency with what he can do, I think, and build from there. Build from a base in terms of just be consistent. Don't be too friendly jump shooting all the time as RJ until that shot develops more. Do what he's good at, which is bully ball, get to the cup and get fouled. Yeah. But yeah, I do get the fact also say how long should it take to develop? Unfortunately, there's no rule of thumb with each player. Like, unfortunately, some players develop in their second year. Some players are ready first year, like Luka, and some players like Wiggins, Jimmy Butler. Some of these players develop later with that situation. I do feel like a lot of RJ Barrett's development has to do with the coaching as well, and this offensive system as well. But I also said, I made this point before, and I'll make it again. RJ Barrett's contract is a sizable contract, but there's a reason it wasn't a max deal. He did not earn a max because he's a tier below some of these other guys. Darius Garland earned the max. Players like Ja Morant will get the super max, etc. RJ Barrett didn't get paid to their level because he's not at that level. But 25 mil, that's what a Tyler Hero and what these kind of less tier guys get. Now it's up to him to play up to that level or exceed that level right now. But Leon Rose didn't draft RJ Barrett, right? He tried to trade him for Donovan Mitchell. So I don't think anybody's off the block in terms of this team in the future for a blockbuster deal as well. I think it was just simple business. They gave him a contract that they needed to give to keep him with that situation, that a contract that they felt was fair. But it may not mean that he's around long term. Like I said, if a blockbuster deal comes up, some of these players are going to have to go. Unfortunately, I'm not married to any player on this Knicks team. I don't feel like Leon Rose is really married to any of them because he wasn't around when he drafted RJ as well for that reason. Now we give Obi a grade, then we'll talk about the road ahead. Now Obi's grade today, 18 minutes. He's been inefficient recently on this road trip. 2 of 11, missing dunks, missing putbacks at the hoop, forcing things a little. 1 of 5 from 3. 3 rebounds, an assist, a steal. Was still +4 in the plus minus 5 points tonight. Obi, a lot of it needs to be evaluated in terms of his improved with defense. Well, the shot wasn't always going to stay 40 to 50%. That's coming back down to earth now. What I want to see from Obi is continue to give that effort defensively, finish at the rim better. Don't get too friendly jump shooting, attack the closeout, get these assists up more as well. Obi Toppin can pass the rock as well. He can pass well for a big man. He could get more than 1 assist. That's for sure. So with Obi, I want to see him, flesh out the rest of his game, because he can't just be about jump shooting. That's not what Obi Toppin is. It was a nice success story earlier in the season, but now it's coming back down to the averages, And Obi got to get to the paint. You got to post up, and you got to attack the closeout as well, get to the line, all of those things. But I will commend him. He's playing solid defense this season. He hasn't really been, blowing assignments, getting beaten backdoor and a lot of things like that. He's been solid so far this season. He's been playing closer to 20 minutes. Really pleasing tonight that Thibs played Obi and Randall a lot more together in meaningful minutes, in a crucial stretch of the game in the fourth, when he subbed Sims out. It's funny what happened straight after that. Randall got blown by and got a layup. But that's probably what, stopped Thibs from keeping with it. With that situation, he went back with Sims back in with that situation. But I'll give Obi a C tonight. He's got to get back that efficiency, but flesh out the rest of his game, and I feel like he's struggled finishing around the hoop, recently. going back to when he missed those dunks the other night with that situation. But yeah, Fournier, Mikhailuk, Archidiakonou didn't play tonight, situational, out of the rotation with that situation. So we saw a 10-man rotation tonight, which is very interesting. As we look ahead to the next stretch, but I really feel like the Knicks have got this tough road behind them, and we're ready. So let me bring up the road ahead with that situation. Yep, we've got the road ahead now, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, great win, great road trip. What does it mean now? We're 9-9, exactly where we need to be at. Now we head back to Portland, or we head back to MSG against Portland, Memphis. No Dame, no Ja Morant, most likely as well. So the door is opened up for the New York Knicks, right? We need to take advantage of that. Absolutely. Obi, yep, does need to start doing the dirty stuff. I agree. Rebounding, defending, yep, and dunk those easy ones. Yep, exactly right. Don't worry about the highlight plays too much. Yep, you could see Tom Thibodeau roll his eyes a little bit as well, fam. With that said, I really feel like Obi just keep his head in the game. Yep. No Dylan Brooks as well, perhaps as well, fam. Yeah, that's going to be huge. But really, good tests, basically. The Knicks have beaten a lot of teams that they needed to beat back at MSG. But the difference is now this stretch coming up, it's teams that are actually in the thick of it, in the playoffs, and in the play-in. So you can't take any of these teams for granted, whether it's Portland, Memphis, even Detroit. In Detroit is going to be a tough matchup. We've beaten Detroit twice this season, once in preseason and once in the regular season. They're going to come out with stuff to prove. Yeah, this is also a factor as well. None of the young guys will be superstar money. So the Knicks will re-sign a lot of these young players. Yep. The Sims, the Deuce, the Quickleys. Yep. Yep. No Dame, no Ja, no Brooks. Watch Knicks go 3-0. Baby, let's go. Let's think positive. Let's get it out there, fam. Yep. For a number of reasons, right? So this what I said earlier in the show, right? This is going to open up a stretch where this can really change the next season. Firstly, the first point is we got this road trip out of the way, right? It was a death road trip very early in the season. Usually we don't see that. Now that's out of the way. And not only is it out of the way, it was a resounding success. We're 3-2 now. So we're back home for Thanksgiving for some home cooking, as well as our record ain't below 500 yet as well with these winnable games. Now, the second point is we can't get complacent. We can't start feeling ourselves just because we had a great road trip. These games at home are still going to be tough. So I'm looking for who's going to stand up, who's going to start showing consistency, and I'm looking at that bench, right? Mitch is going to miss time. D Rose is going to miss time, right? It's going to be quickly Obi, Sims, Deuce, Hartenstein. These guys, Cam Reddish, who I think will get in pretty soon. That's not too serious with that situation. So, yeah, I feel like this is going to be a stretch that sets up the next season. With that said, if I just make a bold prediction out of the next three, I'm thinking anything less than 2-1 is going to be a failure as well. So I'm looking for the Knicks 2-1 at minimum. Maybe we beat Portland, maybe we beat Detroit, and we lose to the Memphis Grizzlies, right? But realistically, like E. Gibson says, no Dame, no Ja, no Brooks. Realistically, all three are there for the taking, right? Best believe that. Yep. CAA says if this was the old playoff format, we're not even a playoff team at this point in time. Um, I feel like there's a couple of factors with that, fam. There's the trade deadline to come. I don't predict that this team that started this season is going to be the roster that finishes. I really feel like Leon Rose ain't playing around. He's been active every year before the trade deadline. He traded for D Rose. He traded for Cam. I feel like he's going to be looking for some impact players to try to help the Knicks, fit into the playoff picture, not just play in. With that said, Fournier, Rose, quickly, there's some parts. There's going to be some discussions, had which could change the course of this situation. I think at where we sit today, if the Knicks were in the draft right now, we'll be picking, 15 or 16, 17, and 23. So those would be our 3 draft picks if Washington make the playoffs. It'd be about 16, 17, and 23. So we got some assets to play with on draft night as well if we do make the playoff or play in, situation. With that said, but the reason I'm not really looking, in terms of the tank and that side of things where fans want to see this team dip into the Wembanyama stakes and things. The moment we signed Jalen Brunson, for me, I knew that wasn't an option no more. I mean, that's whether you want that, I understand. I'm not against that. I'm not against any Knick fan that wants to tank. Well, there's different ways to build the winner. But realistically, when we signed Brunson, I knew we would be too good to finish in the top 5. Too good. This roster needs moves for us to be worse than the 8th selection with that, or to get into that situation, which can help you get into the top 4 with the odds, and the lottery coming up with that situation. Yeah. And we saw tonight, like, Brunson's going to keep us at about 500. He's just an all-star level type player that's efficient, can score as well, make other players better. And if you think about it, we haven't had a good RJ for this first 18 games of the season. What's going to happen if he clicks and he hits his straps? What's going to happen if Quickly starts to click as well? I think Randall and Brunson are going to continue to give what they're giving you. What's going to happen if Cam Reddish and Quentin Grimes come back and play consistently? I think this team's only going to get better. I think we're better than the Chicago Bulls. We're better than we're better than the Hornets. We're better than the Washington Wizards. I still feel like, when everything's clicking. So yeah, I really feel like this team's going to be between the 6, 7 to 9 range. With that situation. Yeah, and that's not considering any moves as well. Kaiser says, I don't trust Rose not to get fleeced in a bigger deal with that situation. We got to see what's out there, I feel. But either way, something's brewing with these draft picks, fam. My word, is something brewing with these draft picks, because they ain't picks far in the future. They're 3 picks in this draft, so they're going to have to decide if they're making that trade. They're going to have to do it soon in terms of find that big splash, because we're going to have to do something on draft night. I hope we don't just trade them away and kick the can down the road again with that situation. What's up, man, Charles? Salute. Looking at the road ahead for this team, right? Coming up to the trade period as players start to be able to be moved, and the Knicks getting, a home stretch after Thanksgiving and all of that after this successful road trip. One other point I will make is, in the first 18 games, we've seen young players get a bigger role in terms of Quickly. Obi got a bigger role. Grimes in the starting lineup now. Cam Reddish got into the starting lineup. Jericho Sims is in the rotation. We didn't expect that. We didn't expect Deuce McBride. I thought Deuce McBride would be situational all season long, but here he is playing bigger minutes, in game 18 as well. So having said that, the Knicks are developing. They're developing some of their young talent whether it's going well, fast as people want it to go, whether Tom Thibodeau is somebody who, deserves credit for that. This team is developing some younger players, whether it's going to increase their stock for a trade, or whether it's going to help us see that they're a part of the future. It's been positive in the first 18 games to see Sims and these players, show what they can do. Cam, Grimes, and Deuce coming through quickly, playing bigger minutes as well, and Obi as well. So 18 games in, let's see. The big key to the season, I think, is the halfway point. We'll be at a situation where we could evaluate and go different directions. I feel we could probably be a seller at the deadline if some of our young players look really good, and if we're surprising some teams and we're above 500, we could see if that difference maker is available. Kind of situation. Kaiser Soze, Randall is mediocre. The Lakers and Pelicans were wise to kick him to the curb. Yeah, he's a middle of the road player. I think Randall's ceiling on a championship team is the third best player. Right now, he's forced to play a role that is a bigger role on this team, and we rely on his performances to win, and it's inconsistent, which is why we're 500 with that situation. But like I said, you bring in another difference maker, you shuffle Brunson to the 2, Randall to the 3rd option, and I think this team can still win. I think Randall on the right team can still help them win. On this team, it's going to be tough to win. Yeah, with him playing a huge role, right? He is up and down. Manchol says, now I know it won't happen, but a lineup of Brunson, Grimes, Cam, Randall, and Mitch will help on the defensive side, man. Absolutely. I'm looking forward to that. Yep, fam. Absolutely. Me too. That's one of the big storylines from this season so far is the involvement of Cam Reddish. A lot of people thought he was out of here. Let's be real. A lot of people thought he was situational. Let's be real. The fact that he's well and truly in the picture now with Thibs and Grimes got back healthy now. Deuce McBride able to play solid lockdown D. Hopefully RJ Barrett's defense improves, and we got some wing defenders now. Yeah, we got some wing defenders. Cam Reddish has been shooting okay from 3 ball, and we know Quentin Grimes can shoot great from 3 ball. As his shot starts to we gets into rhythm with that. So yeah, there are lineups where even fans that aren't too high on this roster can enjoy, but most of it involves some of these younger players. Open the door to allow this team to make that next step into the future with this situation. And it's poignant that the Derrick Roses and the Evan Fourniers are maybe looking back now as not part of this thing anymore. They did let go of Taj Gibson. He didn't really have no role on this team anymore. Now, the next year it could be Derrick Rose. Now, I guess everything's connected with Quickly, to be honest. Whatever happens with Quickly at the deadline is going to be huge. If they keep him, I feel like they're invested. They trade him, maybe they like what they can get for him and recycle that asset, that salary. To me, the biggest unknown, though, is draft night. Like, heading into this trade period, it's sort of going to tell us maybe what's in store for the deadline for the draft, because like I said, the 3 picks, it could be the 3 picks in the top 21 selections, which could be crazy. It will give the Knicks crazy options to trade up, trade back, trade for a star, all of that. The Washington Wizards are looking really nice. If they just make the playoffs, the Knicks get their pick. The Knicks will definitely get the Dallas pick because that's top 10 protected. Dallas will be better than that. So the Knicks are looking at their own pick, Dallas and Washington's, this season. And that's a lot of options, a lot of ammo to make some moves. Yep. Definitely expectations for RJ. Was supposed to be that number one guy with the third. Yep. Unfortunately, it's looking like it was a 2-player draft in terms of superstars. But like I said, it just goes back to the salary. RJ Barrett's not getting paid like a superstar. So my expectations for him to become a superstar are gone. Now they're completely gone. He's getting paid the same as a Tyler Hero. You know, he's only getting slightly paid more than a Davis Bertans kind of contract. You know, a John Collins type situation as well. So I guess when you evaluate RJ, it's all relative to what he's getting paid. He's not getting paid a superstar money. So you can't expect RJ to be a superstar anymore. Otherwise, he would have got the super max, or he would have got the max situation. Now, could you be annoyed at RJ's play isn't as good as you want it to be? Absolutely. He's growing slow. You know, I won't doubt that. You know, some players take 25, 26 to become, you know, very effective. You know, Andrew Wiggins is a player. He was the number one overall pick. And he didn't start to look great until he hit Golden State at 26, 27 as well. So, yeah, it's tough to deal with, but some players develop slow. RJ Barrett, the extension hasn't even kicked in yet. So I don't think it can get any worse, if that makes anybody feel better. RJ Barrett's only going to get better. It's just a matter of how much better he gets, how consistent, how quick he gets better, all of those things. I really feel like he was definitely confident early in his career. You know, New York embraced him, said, you know, you're our guy, you're our future, all of that. I feel like that's kind of not the right way to go about it. Players start to believe their hype and things like that, right? We should operate like a small market franchise. Like, you know, you're not safe until you produce, kind of situation. Brunson could make an all-star. Yep, let's make that case, fam. But only if we are a clear playoff team. Yep. And only if he's giving us these consistent numbers as well. Yep. Wiggins was a dog at times, but he was up and down. I feel like he was up and down. He reached consistency with the Warriors, but if we look at ages and expectations, Wiggins didn't really start to make impact till he was 23, 24 or more than that. So RJ, rest assured, he's running out of time to meet that timeline. But I just use that as an example of a player that's growing slower in terms of their ceiling kind of thing. Jimmy Butler grew slow, but he definitely hit his straps before 23, 24 as well. So RJ, the disappointing thing is the shooting for me. I would have hoped by year 4, RJ Barrett would be at least a 35%, you know, 3-point shooter, you know, is in like just being serviceable with that situation. Dirty says, show me a guy at any efficiency scoring 18 a game. Yep. And making 10 mil with that situation. So yeah, RJ Barrett, you know, and he's always going to get scrutinized. It will never stop. He'll keep getting scrutinized. That's just what he took on and what his role is with the New York Knicks, you know. Our savior ain't Randall. Brunson's in here, which has taken some of the spotlight off RJ. But I feel like RJ Barrett's going to continue to be under the spotlight. You know, he's been signed now. Yeah, and I really feel like he's going to continue to be under that microscope. The good thing is that New York Knicks have a solid player with a solid support base, you know, mindset, all of those things. He's not going to fold. He's not going to be out clubbing and, you know, and get in trouble with the law, things like that situation. So yeah, hopefully it's faster than it is, but he's going to get better. We just got to wait and see. But I really want to see better coaching with that situation. Now, with that said, before we wrap up, The other part of the road ahead is the coaching situation, the front office. Now, I feel like Tom Thibodeau's bought himself more time. I think it's going to be a case of like 3 or 5 bad losses for that buzz to start up again. But in terms of my thoughts moving ahead, I don't want Tom Thibodeau sticking around much longer. I don't like his offense. It stinks. The dribble handoffs, the read and react. I really feel like this team can go to another gear with a better coach and a better system. This team actually has talent when played towards that talent. We saw it today. Jalen Brunson, the offense has to run through him. He could get you a bucket whenever you need it, right? There was a stretch in that Phoenix game that I really wanted to talk about. It was 60-60. Jalen Brunson was going off in Phoenix. He was on fire. And what did we do? I think it was 3 straight possessions where Brunson didn't get a shot. It was a Randall deep 3. It was a fadeaway contested shot and something else, some other trash as well. I don't really feel like this system is going to breed consistency on any level. There could be a moment in the Portland game where we're up 10 and then 3 minutes later we're down 1. Yeah, there's going to be moments in games when we're down 8 and then we're up 3. It's just helter-skelter, Jekyll and Hyde situation, right? I'm not a fan of Tom Thibodeau or his systems as well. Defensively, he's not even bringing anything special, on that end. But yeah, with that said, I really feel like there's a pathway to improve with a better coach. Even for this roster, modernizing the offense, modernizing our defense. We got wing defenders as well. We don't need that scheme, where we could just clog the paint, and hope players miss threes. Man, we don't need to be doing that. And we also need to be playing more pick and roll. Throw in some different schemes, double screens, run some double screens for Brunson, some Spanish pick and roll, trap the ball handler every now and then. Players are going off at us. We need to throw in a blitz. All of those different type of things. I'm just not seeing versatility for Tom Thibodeau. I hope this is his last year with this team, and we can change, because I really feel like we're going to continue to see this 3-point barrage, on us throughout the whole season. That's going to be the theme of the season. If you look at every team, they can shoot threes. Basically, if they get cold, we'll have a chance to win. But if we keep leaving them open, it's going to be tough. With that situation. Yeah, Kaiser agrees with that. Games go well when Brunson's controlling the offense. The second Randall and RJ decide to ball hog is when we get in trouble, right? Absolute facts. Real, recognize real. It's so obvious to see every single time I'm watching. And like I said, we'll be in a groove and then we'll end up with 4 bad possessions in a row and it just crucifies you. Yeah, especially, man. If you look at every game we've played this year, there's been heavy swings. That shows the inconsistency in your schemes and your systems right there as well. And that's why I said this team can be its best when Jalen Brunson controls everything, right? Not only that, but he's our best offensive player. So if we're struggling for a bucket, I'm sorry, but I'm waving off Julius Randle. If Julius Randle's trying to post up, I'm waving him off. I'm saying get somewhere else. Get downhill with that situation, right? Because you know what's going to happen. It's a 4 dribbles, back his man down, spin into traffic, and get the ball stolen kind of thing. And then we're out on the break, and players are a step slow kind of thing. But when we're running downhill with Brunson, boy, are we dangerous. I'm talking double screens off Brunson, getting downhill, getting fouled, take it to the cup, pick and roll with Obi, with Hartenstein or Mitch, or with that situation, and Jericho with that situation. Yeah, we've got centers that can play above the rim. Why aren't we playing pick and roll with Brunson, right? He can get around his man all day, every day, right? And then there's that rim threat where the big man has to respect the lob threat. And then Brunson can get you a layup or a floater as well. So Again, I could talk for an hour about how outdated Thibs systems are as well. This team could be a legit 6 seed just with this roster or better, I feel, with better coaching with that situation. Obviously needs health with that, but Randall, the reduced role can be dangerous. But when he clogs the offense, and the ball stalls, what usually happens is the other team ends up with a fast break, a fast break dunk, a trailing 3-pointer, or something of that nature. Yeah. Yeah, another thing, like Dirty says, Brunson's steady. He controls the ball. He takes care of it. Well, he should touch it every single possession. Yeah. Yeah, facts. Yeah. Another reason, and analytics don't lie, the offense is sexy when IQ's next to Brunson or Grimes is next to Brunson, because they're a secondary ball handlers that can take care of the ball, not like RJ and Randall. Right. Analytics are crazy with quickly next to Brunson, because it's two guys. When Brunson isn't on the ball, someone else that can handle the ball is solid. And I really feel like we're going to be even better with when Grime Time gets ready. He handles the ball more as well. Yep. And Cam running off some screens as well, getting downhill. Yep. So yeah, it's all about the role. It's all about coaching, not just about talent, right? That's what people keep forgetting. This Knicks roster is limited. It's 500 right now, but we could get more out of it with a different kind of coach, a different scheme, And of course, out of timeouts, ladies and gentlemen. It's probably the worst of the worst out of timeout. We never end up with a good look after a timeout. It's a Derrick Rose or a Julius Randle step back three coming out of a timeout with that situation. So, that's just the look ahead with this situation. Feel like we need to change that up. But for this season, we move ahead, home cooking. I'm wishing everybody a happy Thanksgiving. Enjoy the break as well. We can have a little bit of a break from talking Knicks for a few days. Do something that you haven't done in a minute. Catch up with family, see a movie. Get out there for a run, shoot some hoops, do something. Get your mind off the Knicks for a few days. We'll be back in MSG, ready to get into it at Portland versus Portland. No Dame time with this situation. Let's monitor the injury reports, the trade buzz coming through, as the streets will be buzzing with this situation. But so far, a solid start to the season, 9-9, looking well and truly looking to achieve that play-in situation. But with a situation where some moves look likely coming up. Just how big they are, I'll be shocked to see if it's a huge splash mid-season. But I think Leon Rose is under more pressure with this situation, right? With teams in this tough East, right? Anything's possible. So, let's get it, ladies and gentlemen, on the next one. Salute Replay Gang. Salute Best Chat in the Biz. You already know what it is. Great win tonight, mostly because of the young players showed out. They got an opportunity as well. Something to look forward to moving forward. And let's get it on the next one. Peace.